I'm Bob Bakert, and we're here today with some special guests from Godin Guitars, Simon Godin
Hello, everyone.
and Mario Biferali.
Hey
And
guys.
Simon is officially the CEO, but my understanding is that he doesn't stand on laurels with that. And, and and Mario is the VP of Sales, and I guess it'd be the same thing. You know, what's really interesting. Both of you guys, you didn't get hired like a year or two ago, and you figured out a way to get in. I'll start with you, Simon. I mean, you've been with the company 15, 16 years. You started on the line in a small town.
It's going to be 20 years in 2022.
But you started on the line,
Yeah.
making guitars and working with the guys and understanding exactly what goes into this.
It was the best school for me. It's the best way to learn, to understand how to make guitars. When it's time to create a new product, you need to understand how a factory work. And for me, it helped me out a lot. Without that, it would be very hard for me to make a decision as what's coming, what's new model we can make. So for me, it was the best thing I could do for my future. Yeah.
I think most people can read that your dad started the company in '72, I believe. So you guys have been around a long time, and
Yeah.
you grow up in the business. And you're also a guitar player.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mario was your teacher, from what I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Where are you digging up all this info? This is scary.
Well,
and it was funny because I used to bring all those prototype that Robert used to make in the night, and Mario was like, "Man, it's like, how come you don't know how to play, but you bring those amazing quilted elements?" And it took a few times, and Mario's like, "Is your dad Robert Godin?" I say, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, please, I want to meet him." And now you see, he's our VP at the company, so I'm very happy to have him on board with us. So.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just Mario, if I can turn to you for just a second, because we are going to talk about guitars in a minute. But you guys, you have the largest guitar manufacturing company in North America, and your dad was saying nobody really understands that. That people don't really understand how big you guys really, really are, and what a huge company you really, really are. So Mario, you've had every job in the building. I think. Did you sweep floors too? I mean, you were artist relations. You were a product manager. You were a key accounts manager. You were VP of sale. I guess you're that right now. You're VP.
Yeah, I was doing customer service.
Customer service. Excuse me, I'm leaving one out. Yeah.
We were just talking about that an hour ago, Simon and I, and we literally were just talking about how last summer or a couple of summers ago, Simon rented a big container and we were all in there just cleaning up stuff in the summer in July.
Yeah.
And we just roll up our sleeves and do what needs to be done. But again, it's cool because you've seen every step of the way.
Yeah.
And we've done many factory tours. So you learn, all those factory tours that we did with distributors and dealers and stuff like that benefited greatly. So I guess you were alluding to the fact that we all did a lot of the different positions in the company. And that's great because there was and there still is a lot of opportunity.
Right.
And it's really great. And it was great for me because it's going to be 23 years in May that I'm with the company. And basically what happened is I got off the road with my band. I still wanted to play music, but I just love the guitar industry, the music industry. And I was trying to figure out a way of getting into it. And when I started teaching Simon, it was interesting how that happened. And, his dad, and I met Robert Godin through Simon. And I just said, yeah, I'll take any gig you have. And I just want to get in there. And it was great. And it's a very creative company to work for. And they're very open-minded. So even, I remember my first week working at Godin, Robert showed up with a couple of guitars and said, what colors do you like? What finishes do you like? And it was like, wow, you're actually asking me. That's amazing. So it's cool because as you move up in the company, and you work with people in customer service and product specialists, like you alluded to before, it's like you understand the job, you understand the gig, and you're not just hired, boom, right away, and you're not desensitized. You know exactly what they're going through, so it helps with credibility.
Sure. Well, I mean, if you're standing on the floor of a NAMM show, for example, and and you are past artist relations guys, think of all those relationships that you have and the depth of all of that. I think it's
Yeah.
tremendous.
And I don't want to talk for you, Simon, but when Simon started and he was at the factories,
Hmm.
he was on the line. And I remember going back with him when he started working at the office, and he's like, "Oh, I used to work on that machine. I used to cut those blanks." And it was really cool. What was cool is that when he started at the office, um, he never pulled rank. He never said, "Oh, I'm a good," like he was in customer service, he was answering phones, he was doing all this stuff. So it was really cool. And I think that's why he understands our gigs now.
Huh?
And he just bought me a nice coffee, so I'm gonna be nice to him.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm looking at him. He doesn't look like that kind of guy. Let's talk about guitars and the market and all that kind of stuff. Every time there's a trade show, and for the last 30 years, I went to 30 NAMM shows. I mean, went every year, and every year I would go by, what since you guys started showing, and I would check out, your booths and all that. So I'm always kind of interested in what you're doing, because you've always got something really cool and different, and the multi-act series of guitars
Yeah.
is revolutionary. I mean, there was nothing like that. And then there was those. Where did that come from? How did that happen? They sound amazing. I mean, they are, it's probably the most natural sounding electric nylon string that I've ever heard. I mean, they sound great.
Wow.
But there was
Yeah.
there was none, and then there's them. So talk about that guitar, for example.
I think Godin is got very well known with the multi-act for sure. We have major guitar player using our multi-act, and just this year we just came out with a completely new model of the multi-act grand concert and regular multi-act with 25.5 scale. It's called the multi-act deluxe, and this is so far our best multi-act ever made. Unbelievable! It sounds phenomenal. It's we've been working with LR Bags for 2 years on that exclusive electronic that they make for us, and this is what we call a dual source. So we're still gonna use our regular individual contact mic. Plus, it's got a custom pickup glued under the guitar to blend really the acoustic sound, and it's amazing. So if you're a fan of multi-act, you really need to check out the multi-act deluxe. That's brand new for 2021. So we're very proud of that instrument because with all those years, there's still innovation, and we're very very happy about that for sure.
Well, it's incredibly natural sounding instrument, and there's a ton of them out there on stages of
Yeah.
that I go to. There's a ton of guys. It's those things are the beauty of your instruments is they're built like tanks. I mean, and they're not heavy. I don't mean to say that, but I mean I think you could turn around and use that thing as a paddle if you had to, and it would be fine. You could take it to the
Gonna
gig and
be
you.
too much as a nice paddle for.
But you get what I'm saying is that you could that's a roadworthy instrument. Mario, with your touring experience, I mean, you can fly all over the world with that thing, and it's going to hold up and still sound like that. Is truly
Well,
amazing.
again, it goes back to, I think, like what you when you have the experience, right? So, for example, like those guitars, you mentioned that they were the most natural sounding nylons, and that's because Robert Godin started building acoustic guitars. So even these hybrid multi-acts,
Hmm.
it, all of the acoustic properties are in play on this guitar.
Right.
So that's very important. And we wanted to be different because we were all musicians and players. And Robert, 50 years ago, was a guitar player. He was listening to what the market needed, what his musician friends and all these other guys needed out there.
Right.
All the gigging bands. He used to have a shop, and people used to come from all over Canada just to have him work on their guitars. So he's like, wow, there's a real need for like a real nice nylon string hybrid guitar. So
Right.
and that just evolved from there. And like Simon said, we're still innovating. He's been working with LR Bags for a couple of years, but it all came from listening to what the market needed, musicians what they needed, the acoustic properties of an actual acoustic guitar.
There you go. That's this. It's all about how the we build this instrument, the scale, the headstock. There's a reason why the headstock is made like that.
Hmm.
there's a secret recipe under the hood that
Yeah.
makes the guitar breathe and sound, and it doesn't have feedback. And this is the reason why we have like Metallica, Steve Steven.
Hmm.
Now we just sent one to Kiko from Megadeth, major player that are they're trying to play something else, but they come to us after. It's like, man, I need that sound. I need a guitar that I can gig that's gonna be right on stage. So
Yeah.
Godin Guitar, you need to understand that we're not a company who's gonna phone artists or trying to get them play our
Right.
instrument. And this is where like I talk it and it gives me some, but they actually call us and say, guys, we want to buy the guitar. This is what I want to play. So can you imagine how nice it feels for us to say,
Oh,
man, they call us, they want the guitar, they don't want free stuff, they're just fan of the instrument. So this is
sure.
something that I think Robert Godin have all the respect. He made it the right way, and I'm happy to continue the company with Patrick, my
Uh,
brother. It's so nice, and I have a great team. So this is
Oh,
good.
yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a tremendous instrument, and there still isn't anything really like it on the market. I mean,
No, and
it's
what's interesting, I find, is that we have like all types of players. We have classical guitar players
right,
that are very traditional. We have jazz and Latin guitar players, and then we
right.
have Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold. Remember when we went to see Metallica and Avenged? He was playing RACS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like you got, and it's the same type of guitar, but it the whole range.
so your instruments, all of them have a unique feel. I don't know I don't know if it's the wood you're using or the way what you're spraying it with, but they've all of your instruments have like a really organic aura to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is that
Oh yeah.
making any sense at all? I mean, if you go into all the booths at NAMM, the guitars are, I mean, they're all, there's a lot of great builders out there. Don't get me wrong, but your instruments have a uniqueness to them, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the kind of finish that you put on them, or if it's the actual woods that you're using, or what it is. But they feel like they're just organic feeling. I mean, that from the minute you pick it up, it seems like it's, I don't know, played in is probably the wrong word, but they just feel familiar or something like that. They feel
Uh,
like it's a real tree you're playing. It's not something. Is there any? You know what I'm talking about at all?
Well, exactly, and I'll talk from Godin. There's this how we make a guitar. Is first thing is the sound. To make a prototype, it's first thing we're looking at the feel of the neck. Definitely, this is the most important thing. Second will be the sound, and third is how it's gonna look. And at the end is we want to offer the guitar player a feel, a sound that at a certain price point. It's
Right.
like people sometimes like, man, are you sure your guitar are not made overseas? No, it's made right here with people right here. We go twice a week at the factory just so to talk with the staff to make sure the quality control is right on. And now we're starting to use more and more very high end pickup like bare knuckle, TV Jones. We've been using Seymour Duncan for years. So
Hmm.
Mario is always there to help me out. Like, hey Simon, we should try those pickup. So this is what we want to offer people, like a Canadian build quality instrument, high-end electronic for under $2,000 or it's
Your price points are amazing.
yeah.
I mean, they really are, and I mean, it is surprising that you are able to build in North America and bring them in at those price points, because obviously they're quality instruments. And a couple of the instruments now, the name of our magazine is Jazz Guitar Today, but it's kind of a misnomer. We talk, we're really more about improvisational type music, and what we're trying to do is get people to understand that you can know the jazz language, but you can apply that to a whole lot of other music. And so the magazine is really more about trying to get people to expand their musicality and expand their language, rather than address the jazz market, because the jazz guitar market is relatively small. So what we want to do is get people to appreciate what those guys are doing. And but we also, we're not all about just big old fat arch top guitars, even though we love those instruments. So you guys make a lot of really cool instruments. You make solid body guitars. John McLaughlin, who was on our cover a few months back. Obviously you had a relationship with him.
Yeah, yeah.
No doubt about that. And John's the high water mark as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there,
Yeah.
there's nobody that has more respect in the world of electric guitar than John McLaughlin. Nobody. Period. I mean, he's Jeff Beck's favorite guitar player, and Jeff Beck's my favorite guitar player. So
Well, he's another guy that, sorry to interrupt, but he's another guy that actually just went into a store and purchased an LGX just because he loved it. It wasn't given to him. He loved it. He bought it. And then just years later, when he was at the Jazz Fest here in Montreal,
right.
we approach him and say, "Hey man, if you ever need anything," and he's like, "Oh, I'm good. I bought an LGX-T, I think he did, in Paris or something." And then he started checking out a couple of other guitars, but those are the organic types of situations that we're very proud of,
So you've got like some of the instruments that you're building on, and I'm looking at the Montreal series. It's kind of a hybrid guitar, if you will.
I have one in my office if you want.
Pick it up. Let me see it. You got it right there. Just grab your guitar.
Yeah, so that's the Montreal Premier Imperial Blue.
Are those TV Jones pickups?
Yeah.
So, are those TV Jones pickups?
Yeah, those are Jones Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I could see that. Man, that thing looks great. That looks great. Bigsby tailpiece, and it looks really authentic. Now, is there a solid block in that instrument, or is it truly hollow?
That's what's interesting about that guitar.
Core. It's a solid chamber core in the center, so this is what makes your support the pickup, the Bigsby, and then you have a secret under the hood of how it's vibrate and it sounds, and it's very unique to Godin Guitars. Yeah.
So you're tuning the center block. Is that what you're doing?
It's a chambered, so it makes the guitar vibrate the most out of it, and it sounds it's a lot of work into the center block. Yeah.
Are all that series like that, or just that one?
All of the series. Yeah.
All the Montreal. Yeah. It's an interesting concept because it's kind of supports the guitar where it needs to be supported,
right?
But it's chambered where it needs to be, but it's extremely strong. And actually, again, going back to the properties of an acoustic guitar, if you strum that guitar acoustically, it's very loud because of that.
Yeah, I've had that guitar in my hands. I've had the blue one in my hands, and I was amazed at the amount of acoustic output that it had.
Yeah.
I've been playing guitar for 60 years. I would have never have thought of something like that. But what a great idea that is. That's tremendous. No wonder it's got that kind of output. That's amazing.
Well, because we're not here just to make guitars that exist already.
Right.
Like we want to really push that envelope, and we're all players, and we're like, man, we hear again at the NAMM shows what people want, what they need, and that's why that guitar, like you mentioned earlier, you could play jazz, you could play rock, you could play pop, you could play country, because the way it's built, it's got such a wide range, and the sound is so unique.
Right.
But at the same time, you can kind of express yourself on it because it's not pushing you in one direction as, oh, this is a rock guitar, this is a jazz guitar.
And it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simon, show that guitar again.
You see, it's
oh my God.
It's got that very nice sparkle blue.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, so I think if you're looking for that type of guitar,
right,
there's no reason why you should not look at this, because it's going to give you everything you're looking for.
And that series, you've got that series with the stop tailpiece as well. So if they don't, people that don't want to play with a Bigsby, they can get the stop tailpiece, version of that with the more traditional humbuckers.
A nice roller bridge, so it makes a guitar stay in tune. There's a lot into that guitar that's very nice. We have the Montreal Premier, but we have our Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the Fifth Avenue.
I have a prototype if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and grab it. Why not?
It's going to be our winter NAMM.
Yeah, that's right.
If you got it where you can show it to us or not? So this is the new Fifth Avenue?
This is
oh my God, check that out.
This is a new Fifth Avenue, and what's gonna make that guitar different, it's our new Fifth Avenue jumbo size, so more deep than our regular. Normally, our Fifth Avenue stop here. About
Yeah.
that, we added that extra here, so the sound of it and the feel of it is.
Oh wow.
So that's it's perfectly in tune, but this is a new color that it's going to be more on the cherry burst finish. This is a two humbucker version with the regular tailpiece here, but it sounds amazing. So we're very happy to introduce that with the LTD rosewood fingerboard with the inlay. So this is, we're gonna have 4 different versions, 4 different colors. So this is something that for 2022, you guys need to look at the new Fifth Avenue Jumbo.
So are you going to do a cutaway version of that as well with the big body?
Yeah, for sure.
And then I know you put P90s in some of the other ones. You're gonna
Yeah, we can have a P90 version.
right.
We will have a P90 and a humbucker Seymour Duncan version.
Oh, I like that idea.
And the other one, I don't have it with me, but it's going to be that size on a very nice vintage finish. And it's going to have a Bigsby with a P-rail pickup here at the neck.
Oh wow.
You can select your P90, humbucker, or single coil sound. So that's going to be very nice.
You know, you guys, I noticed you've got a pickup. Maybe this is the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That has this. It has a single coil off the back of what looks like a P90.
Yeah, that's it. It's a Seymour Duncan, what they call a P-rail.
P-rail.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before. I'm going to admit I don't know everything about everything that's going on.
Very versatile pickup. We've been using the Seymour Duncan when they first came out. I think, Mario.
Yeah, it was like we were one of the first that used it in a manufactured product,
in a production,
an off the out of the counter type of thing. And it's really interesting because when they introduced us that pickup, we're like, well, wait a minute. So it's a P90, it's a humbucker, and it's a single coil.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, but we plugged it in, and it like really is,
Mm-hmm.
and it does sound exactly like a P90 and a humbucker and a single coil, very authentic. So Simon was like, man, how cool would that be to put one in the neck of a jazz guitar? And once again, you expand what the guitar can do, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, is that the footprint of a standard humbucker, or is it a little bigger?
No, it's the same size as a regular humbucker.
Same footprint.
So you can even if you have a guitar home that with humbucker, you can retrofit a P-rail electronic in there, the same size.
I did hear the demo. I was listening to a demo of that, but I didn't get a chance to really listen. I mean, it was to hear it close up but I could tell there was a huge distinction. I was listening on my phone, believe it or not. You can't really tell the fine nuances of tone on your phone. I mean, I can't anyway. So I was going to try to listen to it again, but that's a really, really cool idea. I have to familiarize myself, and I think it's great that you put it on an arch top, with that big body guitar, because there's something about the dynamics of a single coil pickup that just they to me there's a lot of life in a single coil pickup, but they don't have that fatness. So you flip the switch and I guess and you're off to the races. You get it done.
Well, the one we installed on the Fifth Avenue, we even tweaked the pickup so it sounds great on the hard top, and wow, it's the result was very impressive. Yeah.
And the Fifth Avenue is not in that world is not an expensive guitar.
No.
I'm sure Greg could play anything he wanted to,
and he play anything he wants obviously, and he's given.
Yeah.
He's probably getting guitars sent to him all the time, and that's another guy that I think he bought on 48th Street.
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere too. Yeah, he just went and said, "Yeah, I dig this one. Let's go for it."
He just picked it up, and again, I spoke to him about this years ago.
Right.
He didn't know the price of the guitar. Okay. Now, as you know, jazz guitars could be 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever, right? The guitar he picked up was $1,000, but he just grabbed it and started playing it, and it was like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? And only then did he realize. And that was great. That's the best kind of endorsement you want. Somebody that walks into a store, grabs the guitar. Because maybe if he would have seen the price first, he would have said, oh no, I'm looking for, something else. And he loves it. He's been playing it for years. And it's just amazing.
And look, for the people that are asking what Godin is coming out for 2022, be ready because there's a lot new guitars.
All right, you got to give me something here. You got to give me something. What? You gave me one. You gave me one. What else you got coming for 2022? What are we looking at?
Solid body, electroacoustic. So we're bringing back the Solidac version. This with the carved top is gonna be phenomenal for sure. We're coming with new nylon guitar as well. I don't want to say too much because
No, yeah. Don't
we're,
let.
we're coming with reverse headstock. We're going all direction because Godin is not only about jazz instrument. We're making
Oh no, you guys make
all
everything.
kinds.
Yeah.
But we have so much fun. You know, it's all about I think having fun at the office. Mario is very inspiring me on stuff, and we're a big company, but a small minding, and
Right.
it's all about passion, and this is where it makes the magic.
Well, you've got what do you got? Like 7 brands, 8 brands? How many brands do you have?
Well, we have Godin,
Hmm.
that's electric and acoustic and nylon string guitars. We have Seagull, that it's on the poster in the back, our taper headstock for fingerstyle picking,
Love
and
that.
drumming as well. We have Simon and Patrick guitars. That's me and my brother. This is where
Hmm.
the name is from. We have our Art and Lutry guitars and
Hmm.
Norman, where everything started. Norman guitars. Yeah,
So, and are all those made in North America?
they're all made here in Canada. Yeah.
I know that you guys don't like to tell people how many guitars you're making every year, based on what I've read. And so I'm not going to ask that question, but I will tell you it's in the tens of thousands every month, I believe. And you guys making a lot of guitars. The quality control that I've seen out of you guys is phenomenal. I don't know how you do it. One instrument feels just like the next, feels just like the next, feels just like the next. You don't say, "Oh man, this is a good one," or you got to play 6 to find the one that works. I mean,
No.
you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, I pick up one, I pick up another one. They're exact. I don't know how you do it. Seriously, I don't know how you do it. It's a tremendous company. You guys are great innovators. You got some lot of, excuse my expression, you got a lot of cool shit. And it's easy to figure out. You're both players. I mean, you guys are players. Your dad was, everybody's like into it. That's what you guys do. Eat it, breathe it. And I just think it's really, really cool. I really do. Of the things that you've already done that are out there on the market right now that you're selling and all of that, is there anything that you're particularly want to mention or particularly proud of, or people should know more about, or is there a technology that you'd like to explain to somebody? Or is there anything you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
For me personally, I really like the direction that Simon and the whole company is taking with our HT series guitars, because you mentioned earlier how they feel very organic and very woody.
Hmm.
And on our electric guitars, we wanted to have that same type of feel, right? We have single cut, double cut electrics. Also, we have different versions that it's called the HT series, and the finish on these guitars, it's like you're playing an acoustic. It just feels so good and natural. And over the last couple of years, and we keep introducing more of these HT series guitars. Yes, we do a lot of hybrid guitars. We do a lot of like the multi-act nylons, but it's been really nice to see how people gravitate to our electrics too. Over the last couple of years, it's really taken off because of exactly that. They feel like they're buying a real instrument. It feels and sounds and really organic.
I'm looking at it, and it's all it's made in North America. The woods, I mean, you guys use great woods. I guess you're getting them from way up north in the forest of
Our factories
Northern
are
Canada.
surrounded by forests. We get them
Yeah.
up north. We get them from BC. So we're in Canada, so that helps. And there's a lot of talented woodworkers, in these small towns where the factories are located. So we got to.
Well, yeah, and your forests haven't been decimated. I mean, you guys, Canada's a huge landmass with really not a lot of people,
No.
uh, and
And
and so you've got freaking trees. You got trees, and if you're managing your trees, because I know a little bit about that, and so the quality of the wood that you guys start out with is just second to none. And everybody knows that cold weather, makes dense wood, and all of that. So it's great. So I'm looking at this guitar. It's $699.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea.
Well,
I mean,
look,
I do have an idea because we just talked, but I mean, I would have
Yeah.
had no idea how you were pulling it off.
I can tell you one thing is the Godin Session HT is a no-brainer. This is it's a very hard instrument for us to still be able to make at that price point, and we're keeping doing it to make sure that we can offer a North American guitar at that price point, and there's
Right.
no one there that can do it, and we're very happy about it. But it's very hard for us knowing that everything is expensive, and
Yeah.
one of the reason why is, for sure we don't advertise like other company, and for us it's yeah, we would like to advertise and being on every single magazine, every website, but there's a cost for it.
Oh, absolutely.
Our decision was, do we want to be the company that is on every single page, or we want to be a guitar company that people are buying our guitars because it's like, wow, it sounds, it plays, and the price is amazing. And this is a decision that we took at Godin Guitars for a long time, and
Right.
on the right track. And it's gonna take years. It takes to, but more and more Godin fans out there, and we're very happy about it.
Well, you guys have been great, and I thank you for your time. I know you're really busy running North America's largest guitar manufacturing facilities, and it's really funny. I feel like, I mean, the two of you, this is very, 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 very cool. Very cool for me, and I
Pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, Bob Bakert with Simone.
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Simone Godin and Mario Biferali. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye now.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.